What's up everyone, Glenn Weinstein here, Glenn Weinstein Fitness, and I want to take you through how to do the perfect single arm kettlebell swing today. So this should be a real simple lesson, namely because we've gone through how to do the perfect kettlebell swing with two hands. I've gone through how to do the perfect kettlebell swing with two hands, including movement, including high swings, power swings, heels up, stepping around the world, all sorts of fun stuff like that. So now your technique should be pretty comprehensive. So what we're going to go through today is a single-handed kettlebell swing with an open and a closed grip. They're open and closed because they kind of activate or deactivate or de-emphasize your lat getting involved in the swing. Hops, plyometric moves around the world, and then I will also show you my favorite version of a single arm kettlebell swing, which is the swing to twist. Now that's my favorite because I think it really loads up the spine well. It teaches you to transition power through your legs, through your hips in a non-linear fashion, which is important because in athletics, in athletic performance, you're not really doing things in perfect straight lines. So the single arm kettlebell swing. As you can see, a basic swing is almost identical to a double-handed swing of the kettlebell. The only difference is that you're using one hand. You're still keeping your hips and your shoulders flat to the floor. You're still hinging at your hip in the same way that you would with the double-handed swing, and you're still getting that lovely depth that you would from a double-handed swing as well. You can see that you actually grip into the corner of the kettlebell and hold with your thumb down the horn of the handle. That's a closed grip kettlebell single arm swing. Now the reason why it's called a closed grip single arm kettlebell swing is because it kind of closes off your lat from getting involved in the movement too much. However, if you hold on the flat of the handle in the middle of the kettlebell and swing, allowing your palm to stay facing down, this is the open single-handed swing and really allows your lat to get far more involved than in the other version. The big difference is in your empty hand. Take a look at my empty hand, because I'm not just letting it flow behind me, I'm throwing it back to really push my shoulders down into the swing and emphasize that load release that you get in your hamstrings during a swing cycle. So don't be passive with your empty hand. That goes for any of the single hand work that you do with a kettlebell. It's active. It's either actively counterbalancing or it's actively pulling you deeper into the active posture that you want to be in at the midpoint or end of the move. So that's a real simple talk through of a single-handed kettlebell swing. All of the other stuff, the steps, the hops, the round the world, is exactly the same technique as you would use for a double-handed kettlebell swing, so I'm not going to spend ages going over it. So take a look at the different types of swing that you can be doing and have a play around with them. Your technique should be pretty perfect from the first two videos. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. The kettlebell single arm swing to twist. Now again, watch my empty hand, because that empty hand drives back on a diagonal line to not only throw my shoulders down into the move in even deeper postures, but actually to throw me into that move on a diagonal line to load in a twisted way through my posture of my back. So I'm throwing that empty hand back diagonally behind me and dropping one shoulder in deeper than the other to really stretch my hamstrings, to load even further into my glutes, hamstrings and lower back, and to squeeze my core. Now if you imagine twisting and releasing a rubber band, it's got more pressure built up, more force and more elastic load to release than if you were to just pull that elastic band back and let it go on a straight line. So the same principle applies here for the single arm kettlebell swing to twist. If you want to see how to use this as part of a larger circuit, go over to my fat burn circuit as part of the 6-week shred video. It's one of my favorites, and perfect it because all the kettlebell flow stuff comes from this. Instagram, Glenn Weinstein Fitness, for shorter bites of information on nutrition and training, and generally to keep track of what I'm doing in the gym. Glenn_PT on Twitter. Head over to Glenn Weinstein Fitness on YouTube if you're not there already, and hit subscribe for more updates every week. Track me all over the internet. Boom!